Hello and welcome to Board Game Gumbo. Today we're unboxing Dice Throne Season 1 Rerolled. This is a reprint of the 2018 release of Dice Throne. Between Season 1 and 2 of Dice Throne, Roxley made a bunch of really great improvements to the game, just in terms of styling and organization of the components. So they went back to Season 1 with this release to kind of bring that version of the game up to the standard of Season 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's in the box. Dice Throne is a game for 2 to 6 players. You can play it several different ways. You can play 1 versus 1, 2v2, or 3v3. There's also a 3-way match you can play, and a free-for-all. It plays in about 20 to 40 minutes. So let's see what we got here. This is going to be just some cheat sheets, I believe. So here are our rules. Dice Throne is a dice rolling combat game. You're going to be playing as a specific character who has these abilities that get activated by rolling a set of dice specific to them in sort of a Yahtzee style mechanic, where you have 3 opportunities to roll the certain number of dice that you want, and then you use them to activate one of your abilities. You also have a deck of cards, which you can use to upgrade your abilities, or just for other things like regenerating health or getting additional resources. The style of game that I'm most familiar with in Dice Throne is the free-for-all, and in that one, you're essentially just trying to knock out every other player. It's last man standing. Got some cardboard punch out here, and these are for the different abilities or status markers that the different characters have. So for instance, I believe this is for the gunslinger, and she essentially targets another player, and then that player takes additional damage from everybody, not just her. And then you have tokens like this, which I believe is a dodge for possibly the monk, and so on. So you got quite a few different tokens. These are all character specific, so they'll go into a character's particular box. And then we have pretty much the only other thing in the box is the character packs themselves. So there are 2 new characters in this one, and this first one seems to be one of them, and that is the Trent. So these kind of character boxes are something that is new, I believe, to Season 1. I think the first time they did these was in Season 2. But you've got your character board here, giving you a nice look at the character you're playing, and then it folds out to give you all of your starting attacks. So these are your starting attacks. You've got a defense over here, and he's got a passive over here. I'll actually take a slow shot at this one in particular, because this is a new character. Each character is also going to come with a board that describes their particular status effects or different bonuses. So these are the different tokens that this character has, and it explains what all of them do, as well as an explanation of the different sides of his particular die. And on the back here, you just have some flavor text, some interesting things, and then some frequently asked questions, which is a nice little inclusion. Each character is going to basically have the same stuff in their box. They're going to have a wheel for their combat points. This is essentially your currency. It's what you use to play cards. Cards have a cost on them, so you can go up and down on your combat points. You have a dial for your health. You have your dice, and Dice Throne always does really nice looking dice, so they're worth taking a look at. And then finally, your deck of cards. And at least visually, this is probably the biggest upgrade in Season 1, because the original Season 1, all these cards were the same. Are mostly the same for each character. And this one, they've got art specific to the character, which is something they did in season 2. So it's really nice to see them go back and just add this. And I, again, will go through these pretty slow because this is a new character. There are 2 new characters actually in this box, this being one of them. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the other one as well once we're done. Every character is going to have a couple different types of cards. So you've got red cards that you can play at any time. You've got orange cards, which can only be played while someone is rolling, but they don't have to be your phase. The blue cards have to be played during your main phase, so basically they're not instant. And then you've got upgrade cards. So all these have to be played during your main phase, but they upgrade your different attacks, or in this case, your defense ability. Generally making your attacks do more damage or easier to pull off. And then we have more of our orange cards, which are our roll cards. So every player, these cards up here, up to the upgrade cards, these are specific to this character. But all of these are cards that every character is going to have in their deck. And these in the base game in season 1 were very generic. They were, white background, black text, very basic. In this, obviously you can see, it's just much more interesting to look at. And then you've got in the back here, just a little cheat sheet, tells you about turn order and also timing and status effects. So that is it for the Trent. Go ahead and put all this back in, and then we'll take a look at our one other new character, which is the next one on the list, and that is the Ninja. The Ninja also wasn't in season 1 originally. You just had the Paladin, the Monk, the Shadow Thief, Pyromancer, the Moon Elf, and the Barbarian. But it's worth taking a look at them because these player boards are new. They weren't in the original season 1. But let's go ahead and take a look at our Ninja, which is our another new character. And then again, all these cards in the back here are included in every deck. So if you've played season 2, you've already seen all these cards, and they look pretty much the same as they do here. And the rest of the characters will have the same in their boxes. They'll have a deck of cards, and then their combat point wheel, and their health wheel, and their dice, and their player boards. But all of those have already been seen. They were in the original season 1. So I just wanted to give you a look at the 2 new characters. And that's it. That's everything you get in a copy of Dice Throne Season 1 Rerolled by Roxley Games.